Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji, you are. Mataji, did you show my poster to Prabhuji?
Pardon?
Did you show my poster to Prabhuji?
I forgot totally.
Because just 2 days after there is Ekadasi, you know.
It's okay.
So should I circulate in the group?
Yeah, we can do it, I think. No
Okay,
issue.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
How was your trip?
Very hectic.
You look very tired, Mataji.
Actually, the weekend classes have been cancelled, but I think I'll finish off because next weekend I have a teachers training program. I'll be traveling that time. I don't know. If at all I needed a break, I thought I will take at that time.
Okay, so next week we don't have class, no?
Maximum I will try to take class,
Okay,
but if at all by any chance,
okay.
yeah. So that this week I can compensate next week, no?
Mataji, I sent that poster in the group.
Okay. So we have completed, what do you say, 4 texts, no?
Yes, Mataji.
So we have only 2 days. Okay, fine. And one more thing, Shramita has messaged me that she will not be able to join level 3 class because she skipped many classes in level 2. She wanted to repeat it again.
Okay, Mataji.
It's okay. And one more thing, Vaishnavi, can you please send the link separately so that if anybody wants to join, they can click that and join the.
Okay, Mataji. Should
Okay.
I send it in the message?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'll do that.
Okay, we'll start with the pranam mantra. Vaishnavi, Hare Krishna, are you there? Come on, ma. Start with the pranam mantra.
Yes, Mataji. Shall I share or should I only?
Yeah, you start saying the pranam mantra.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaya Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा माता जी।
Hare Krishna. Yes. So one of you can start reciting.
Mataji, should I start the
Yeah.
Pranam?
Pranam mantra already done, Racheta. You can start reading this.
Okay. Is my voice audible?
Yes.
Krishneti yasya giritam manashadriyeta dakshasti che pranatibhi cha bhajantam isham susya bhajana vigyam anyam anna nindati shunya hridam ipsita sanga labhya. The translation. One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna. One who should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation and is Diksha and is engaged in worshipping the deity, and one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. The purport: in order to intelligently apply the sixfold loving reciprocations mentioned in the previous verse, one should select proper persons with careful discrimination. Srila Rupa Goswami therefore advises that we should meet with Vaishnavas in an appropriate way according to their particular status. In this verse, he tells us how to deal with three types of devotees: the Kantistha Adhikari, Madhyatma Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. The Kanistha Adhikari is a neophyte who has received the Harinama initiation from the spiritual master and is trying to chant the holy name of Krishna. One should respect such a person with his mind as a Kanishtha Vaishnava. A Madhyatma Adhikari has received spiritual initiation from the spiritual master and has been fully engaged by him in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The Madhyatma Adhikari should be considered to be situated midway in devotional service. The Uttama Adhikari or highest devotee is one who is very advanced in devotional service. An Uttama Adhikari is not interested in blaspheming others. His heart is completely clean and he has attained the realized state of unalloyed Krishna consciousness. According to Srila Rupa Goswami, the association and service of such Bhagavata or perfect Vaishnava are considerable. So in this paragraph, Mataji, they have described the three types of Vaishnavas, namely the Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyatma Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. So the Kanishta Adhikari is a new devotee who has recently been initiated by his spiritual master. The Madhyatma, the Adhikari, is the one who is just started his devotional service and he's at a higher level compared to that of a Kanishta Adhikari, and an Uttama Adhikari is he's a topmost Vaishnava who treats himself as a second class citizen. So he is humble by nature. So he takes the orders of his spiritual master very seriously. Mother, should I read the next paragraph?
I think Vaishnavi can read.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Actually, I was just typing the attendance. From one should, right?
One should not remain a Kanishta Adhikari.
Okay. One should not remain a Kanishta Adhikari, one who is situated on the lowest platform of devotional service and is interested only in worshipping the deity in the temple. Such a devotee is described in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, chapter 2, verse 47. Acharyam evam haraye pujam yaha shraddhayate na tad bhakteshu चन्येषु सा भक्त praktiktah smrititah. A person who is very faithfully engaged in a worship of the deity in the temple, but who does not know how to behave towards devotees or people in general, is called a prakrita bhakta or kanishthadikari. One therefore has to raise himself from the position of Kanishta to the platform of Madhyama The Madhyama is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 2, verse 46 in this way. Ishware tad adhineshu
Baliseshu.
Mataji, I think so. Vaishnavi Mataji's net is unstable.
Mataji, Mataji, I am there.
Vaishnavi Herekar. Yeah. Vaishnavi, try to recite this. Can you recite, Vaishnavi? Okay. Yes, I think Sai Gitika, you can continue reading this.
Not the after shloka, I should read Mataji. The Madhyama Adhikari is a devotee who worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the highest objective of love. Object of love, makes friends with Lord's devotees, is merciful to the ignorant and avoids who are envious by nature. This is the way to cultivate devotional service properly. Therefore, in this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami has advised us how to treat various devotees. We can see from practical experience that there are different types of Vaishnavas. The Prakrita Sahajiyas generally chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, yet they are attached to women, money, and intoxication. Although such persons may chant the holy name of the Lord, they are not yet properly purified. Such people should be respected within one's mind, but their association should be avoided. Those who are innocent but simply carried away by bad association should be shown favor if they are eager to receive proper instructions from pure devotees. But these neophytes, devotees who are actually initiated by the bona fide spiritual master and are seriously engaged in carrying out the orders of the spiritual master and should be offered respectful obeisances.
Yes, please explain from here.
Mataji, I read from after the shloka.
Yeah, you can read this and you can explain.
Okay, a person who is faithfully engaged in the worship of the deity in the temple, but who does not know how to behave towards devotee or people is called Prakrita Bhakti or Kanishta Adhikari. One therefore has to raise himself from the position of Kanishta Adhikari to the platform of Madhyama Adhikari. The Madhyama Adhikari is described in Srimad Bhagavatam in this way: Ishware tat adineshu balesheshu Dvishat, Dvisas, Dvisatsu cha Prema Maitri Kripopeksha Yat Karoti sa Madhyama. So Mataji, can you scroll up so that I read this already? That's why. Yeah, Mataji. Who is a person who is engaged in the worship of the deity in the temple, but he doesn't know how to behave to people or people in general. They are called Prakrita Bhakta or Kanishta Adhikari. So one person should always raise himself from the position of Kanishta Adhikari to the platform of Madhyama Adhikari. So with this shloka, they have described Madhyama Adhikari. So what is Madhyama Adhikari means? The Madhyama Adhikari is a devotee who worships Supreme Personality of Godhead with love, and he makes friends with people who are Lord's devotees, and he is merciful to the ignorance and avoid who are envious by the nature. And Mataji?
Envious.
Yeah, envious. So they're also saying that this is the only way which we can cultivate devotional service properly. So Srila, in this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami has advised us to treat various devotees. And we can see from practical experience that there are many type of Vaishyas. So one of the type is Prakrita Sahajiyas.
Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna. Please correct yourself.
Okay, Mataji.
Different types of Vaishnavas.
Mataji, merchants.
Vaishnavas.
Meaning of Vaishnavas.
Different types of Vaishnavas.
Yeah. Different types of Vaishnavas. So Prakrita Sahajiyas, they generally chant Hare Krishna mantra, but still they are attached to women, money, and intoxication. Such people, these kinds of people may chant the holy name of Lord, but still they are not properly purified. So they still are not properly purified, and such kind of people should be respected within one's mind. Their association should be avoided. We should not associate with them. And some people who are innocent but simply carried away by bad association, people who are good but they're carried away by bad association, should be shown favor if they are eager to receive proper instructions from pure devotees. These neophytes devotees are actually initiated by bona fide spiritual master, and they are seriously engaged in carrying out these orders by spiritual masters, and they should be offered respectful obeisances.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Next. Vaishnavi, if you are back, please start reading.
Yes, Mataji, actually the lights went off.
Yeah, no issue.
In this Krishna consciousness movement, a chance is given to everyone without discrimination of caste, creed, or color. Everyone is invited to join this movement, sit with us, take prasada, and hear about Krishna. When we see that someone is actually interested in Krishna consciousness and wants to be initiated, we accept him as a disciple for the chanting of holy name of the Lord. When a neophyte devotee is actually initiated and engaged in the devotional service by the order of the spiritual master, he should be accepted immediately as a bona fide Vaishnava, and obeisances should be offered unto him. Out of many such Vaishnavas, one may be found to be very seriously engaged in the service of the Lord and strictly following all the regulative principles, chanting the prescribed number of rounds on japa beads, and always thinking of how to expand the Krishna consciousness movement. Such a Vaishnava should be accepted as an Uttama Adhikari, a highly advanced devotee, and his association should always be sought. The process by which a devotee becomes attached to Krishna is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya 4.192. Diksha Kale Bhakta Kare Atma Samarpana Se Kale Krishna Tare Kare Atma Sama. At the time of initiation, when a devotee fully surrenders to the service of the Lord, Krishna accepts him to be as good as himself. Diksha or spiritual initiation is explained in Bhakti Sandarbha 283 by Srila Jiva Goswami. Divyam Jnanam Yato Dadyat Kurvat Kuryat Papasya Sankashyam Tatmad Diksheti Saprokta Deshi Kaishi Tattva Kovidahi. By Diksha, one gradually becomes disinterested in material enjoyment and gradually becomes interested in spiritual life.
Yeah, I can
We have. Can you scroll? So, Mataji, in this paragraph, it is explained who is Uttama Adhikari. And like the person who is strictly following the rules given by his spiritual master should be immediately called a bona fide Vaishnava, and obeisances should be given to him. And he is serious in engagement of the service to the Lord. He strictly follows the regulative principles and chants the prescribed number of rounds on japa beads and thinks to how to expand the Krishna consciousness movement. And even it is said that in Krishna consciousness movement, there is a chance given to everyone, and no discrimination is there on the basis of caste, creed, color, and everyone who is interested in the movement is invited to join the movement, sit and talk, and take prasada and hear about Krishna. Yeah, that's it. And the process here is explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita that at the time of initiation, when a devotee fully surrenders to the service of the Lord, Krishna accepts him as good as he himself is. And Diksha is explained in Bhakti Sandarbha by Srila Jiva Goswami. Yeah. Can you scroll?
Yes.
And it is said by Diksha, one gradually becomes disinterested in material enjoyment and gradually becomes interested in spiritual life.
Yes.
Should I continue?
Yeah, no, Rachita will read now. Hare
Hare
Krishna. Yeah.
Krishna. We have seen, is my voice audible?
Yes.
Okay. So we have seen many practical examples of this, especially in Europe and America. Many students who come to us from rich and respectable families quickly lose all interest in material enjoyment and become very eager to enter into spiritual life. Although they come from very wealthy families, many of them accept living conditions that are not very comfortable. Indeed, for Krishna's sake, they are prepared to accept any living condition as long as they can live in the temple and associate with the Vaishnavas. When one becomes so disinterested in material enjoyment, he becomes fit for initiation by the spiritual master. For the advancement of spiritual life, Srimad Bhagavatam 6.1.13 prescribes Tapasya Brahmacharena Samena Cha Damnena Cha. Is it correct?
Yes.
When a person is serious about accepting Diksha, he must be prepared to practice austerity, celibacy, and control of mind and body. One is so prepared and is so desirous of receiving a spiritual enlightenment Divyam Jnanam. He is fit for being initiated. Divyam Jnanam is technically called Tad Vigna, or knowledge about the Supreme. That Vijnanatham Sadhu Eva Bhikache. When one is interested in the transcendental subject of the absolute truth, he should be initiated. So such a person should approach a spiritual master in order to take Diksha. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.3.21 also prescribes Dasmat Gurum Prapadayate Jignasu Vishaya Uttamam. When one is actually interested in the transcendental science of the absolute truth, he should approach a spiritual master. So in this paragraph, Srila Prabhupada ji is talking about people from they come from from respected families. They accept Diksha because they are eager to know about Krishna, and due to their association with the Vaishnavas, uh, so they accept uncomfortable conditions just to progress in the spiritual life. And and by doing so, they consider the spiritual master as equivalent to the absolute truth. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Next. Yes, Sai Gitika, you can read.
Yes, Mataji. One should not accept a spiritual master without following his instructions, nor should one accept a spiritual master just to make a fashionable show of spiritual life. One must be jignasu, very much inquisitive to learn from the bona fide spiritual master. The inquiries one makes should strictly pertain to transcendental science, Jignasva Shreya Uttamam. The word Uttamam refers to that which is above material knowledge. Tama means the darkness of the material world, and Earth means transcendental. Generally, people are very interested in inquiring about mundane subject matters. But when one has lost such interest and is simply interested in transcendental subject matters, he is quite fit for being initiated. When one is actually initiated by a bona fide spiritual master, and when he seriously engages in the service of the Lord, he should be accepted as Madhyamadhikari. Mataji, should I read the next paragraph also?
Yes.
Yes, Mataji. The chanting of the holy name of Krishna is so sublime that if one chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra offenselessly, carefully avoiding the 10 offenses, he can certainly be gradually elevated to the point of understanding that there is no difference between the holy name of Lord and Lord himself. One who has reached such an understanding should be very respected by the neophyte devotees. One should know for certain that without chanting the holy name of Lord offenselessly, one cannot be a proper candidate for advancement in Krishna consciousness. In Sri Chaitanya Charamrita Madhya, Charitamrita Madhya 22.69, it said, Yahara Komala Shraddha Se Kanishta Jnana Karme Karmateno Bhaktaha Ibu Uttama. No, I read it wrong.
Okay, no issue. Good attempt.
Okay, Mataji. One whose faith is soft and pliable is called a neophyte. But by gradually following the process, he will rise to the platform of a first class devotee. One begins his devotional life from the neophyte stage. But if one properly finish the prescribed rounds of Hare Nama, he is elevated step by step to the highest platform, Uttama Adhikari. The Krishna consciousness movement prescribes 16 rounds daily because people in the Western countries cannot concentrate for long periods while chanting on beats. Therefore, the minimum number of rounds is prescribed. However, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura used to say that unless one chants 64 rounds of japa, 100,000 names, he is considered fallen patita. According to his calculation, practically every one of us fallen, but we are trying to serve the Supreme Lord with all seriousness and without duplicity. We can expect the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is famous as Patita Pavana, the deliverer of the fallen.
Yes, explain.
Yes, Mataji. So in this verse, in this paragraph, it said that a person should not accept his spiritual master without following his instructions. And one should not accept a spiritual master to just show that a fashion, to just make a fashionable show of spiritual life. One must be a jignasu, a person who is very much inquisitive to learn from a bona fide spiritual master. The inquiries one should make is strictly to transcendental science or jignasua shraya uttamam. So uttamam means which is above material knowledge, and tama means the darkness of this material world, and ut means transcendental. People are very interested in inquiring about mundane subject matters, but when a person lost such interest and he's simply interested in transcendental subject matters, he's very correct for being initiated. When one is actually initiated by bona fide spiritual master, and when he seriously engages in the service of the Lord, he can be accepted as a Madhyama Adhikari. Chanting of the names of Krishna is so sublime that one chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra offensively, carefully avoiding the 10 offenses. He can gradually elevate it to the point of understanding that there is no difference between the Lord himself and the holy name of the Lord. When one has reached such an understanding, he can be respected very much by neophyte devotees. And one should, can you scroll up, Mataji? There was, yeah. One should also, if one should know that without chanting the holy name of Lord offensively, one cannot be a proper candidate for advancement in Krishna consciousness. So Sri Chaitanya Charamrita, Madhya 22. Charitamrita. Right, Mataji?
Yes.
Adya 22.69 said, one whose faith is soft and pliable is called a neophyte. One gradually following this process will rise to the platform of a first-class devotee. Everybody begins his devotional life with from the neophyte stage only. But if one properly finishes chanting the prescribed number of rounds of Hare Nama, he can be elevated to one step to the highest platform, which is also known as Uttama Adhikari. The Krishna consciousness movement.
Again, explain.
Okay, Mataji. So, from the neophyte stage, if a person properly finishes chanting the number of Hare Namas, then he can be elevated by a step of Uttama Adhikari. Krishna consciousness movement.
What are the minimum rounds prescribed to chant?
16 rounds.
Yeah, but otherwise, as per Bhakti Siddhanta Swami Saraswati Thakura, 64 is the one that is 100,000 names is considered to be a fallen, that is patita. Okay, so practically each one of us is fallen, is it or not? So
Yeah,
if we
ma'am.
are serious, and then we have to chant at least 64 rounds of japa. 16 is the minimum. This was prescribed keeping the Western population in mind. Okay.
Mataji, a small question. Actually, for us, it's actually like one round of japa, right, Mataji? But according to
Not one round of you can do 16 rounds.
no, Mataji, not like that. Like I'm capable of doing 1 or 2 rounds. That's it.
You can
And
do it more. You can do it more.
yeah,
You have
Mataji.
time. Students
Yep.
have more time than the people who are working, who have responsibilities. The moment you get up from the bed, you can do easily 4 rounds. Before going to bed, you can do 4 rounds. In between 8 rounds, you can easily finish off.
Yeah, Mataji. That's not my exact question. Western people, they cannot concentrate for such long time. So for them, it's prescribed to do 1 or 2 rounds of japa, right,
Oh,
Mataji?
16 rounds.
Okay. Yeah, Mataji. That's it. Mataji, there's one more paragraph. You should scroll up.
No, you're done. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yes, somebody else, Vaishnavi, can continue.
Yes, Mataji. When Srila Satyaraja Khan, a great devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, asked the Lord how a Vaishnava could be recognized, the Lord replied, Prabhu kahe, yanra mukhe suni eka bara, Krishna nama sai puja, Shrestha saba kare. If one hears a person say even once the word Krishna, that person should be uh, accepted as the best man out of the common group. CC Madhya 15.106. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued. Ata eva yenra mukhe eva Krishna nama Saitan Vaishnava kariha tanhare samanna. One who is interested in chanting the holy name of Krishna or who by practice likes to chant Krishna's name should be accepted as a Vaishnava and offered respect as such, at least within one's mind. CC Madhya 15.111. One of our friends, a famous English musician, has become attracted to chanting the holy name of Krishna, and even in his records, he has several times mentioned the holy name of Krishna. At his home, he offers respect to the pictures of Krishna and also to the preachers of Krishna consciousness. In all regards, he has a very high estimation of Krishna's names and Krishna's activities. Therefore, we offer respect to him without reservation. For we are actually seeing that this gentleman is advancing gradually in Krishna consciousness. Such a person should always be shown respect. The conclusion is that anyone who is trying to advance in Krishna consciousness by regularly chanting the holy name should always be respected by Vaishnavas. On the other hand, we have witnessed that some of our contemporaries who are supposed to be great preachers have gradually fallen into the material conception of life because they have failed to chant the holy name of Lord. While giving instructions to Sanatana Goswami, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu divided devotional service into three categories. शास्त्र युक्ति नहीं जाने दृढ़ श्रद्धावान मध्यमाधिकारी से महाभाग्यवान. A person whose conclusive knowledge of the Shastras is not very strong, but who has developed firm faith in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and who is also undeterred in the execution of his prescribed devotional service should be considered a Madhyamadhikari. Such a person is very fortunate. CC Madhya 22.67. A Madhyamadhikari is a Shraddhavan, a staunchly faithful person and he is actually a candidate for further advancement in devotional service. Therefore, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 22.64, it is said, Shraddhavan jane hai bhakti adhikari, uttama madhyama kanishta, shraddha anusari. One becomes qualified as a devotee on the elementary platform, the intermediate platform, and the highest platform of devotional service according to the development of his Shraddha, faith. Again, in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 22.62, it is said, Shraddha Sabde Vishwasa Kahish Shudrudha Nishchaya Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karmakrita Haya. By rendering transcendental service to Krishna, one automatically performs all subsidiary activities. This confident firm faith, favorable to the discharge of devotional service, is called Shraddha. Shraddha, faith in Krishna, is the beginning of Krishna consciousness. Faith means strong faith. The words of Bhagavad Gita are authoritative instructions for faithful men, and whatever Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita is to be accepted as it is, without interpretation. This was the way Arjuna accepted Bhagavad Gita. After hearing Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna told Krishna, Sarvam etad ritam manye yanmam vedasi keshava. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Bhagavad Gita chapter 10 verse 14.
I can
This is the correct. Okay.
where we are.
Uh,
Here. When Srila Satyaraja Khan.
yes. So Srila Satyaraja Khan was a great devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he asked him a question that how can we recognize a Vaishnava? Then Lord replied to him that if one hears a person say even once the word Krishna, that person should be accepted as the best man in the out of the common group. The Lord continues saying that one who is interested in chanting the holy name of Krishna, or who by practice likes to chant Krishna's name, should be accepted as Vaishnava and should be given respect in at least one's mind. So there is an example given here about a famous English musician who was attracted by chanting the holy names, that in many of his records there was several times mention of the holy name of Krishna, and even he used to offer respects to the picture of Krishna and the features of Krishna consciousness. So he had a very high estimation for Krishna's name and Krishna's activities. Therefore, he also should be given respect without any reservation. For we actually see that gentleman is advancing gradually in the Krishna consciousness. So we should also give such persons obeisances and respects. And the conclusion is that anyone who is trying to advance in Krishna consciousness by regularly chanting the holy name should be respected by Vaishnavas. On the other hand, we also have seen that many of the contemporaries who are supposed to be great preachers were gradually fallen down in the material consumption because they failed in chanting the holy name of the Lord. While giving instruction to Sanatana Goswami, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu divided the devotional services into three categories. Uh, that is, a person who conclusively has knowledge of a person whose conclusive knowledge of Shastras is not very good, but his faith is firm in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So he is considered as a Madhyama Adhikari, who is a very fortunate person. And he is called Shraddhavan because he is a candidate to the advancement in devotional service. And it is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita that one becomes qualified as a devotee on any three platforms of devotional service according to the development of his Shraddha. And by rendering the service, transcendental service to Krishna, one automatically performs all subsidiary activities. This confidence, faith, firm faith, and favorable to the discharge of devotional service is called Shraddha. And this is the beginning of Krishna consciousness. So faith here means the strong faith, and the words in Bhagavad Gita are the authoritative instructions for these type of faithful men. and it should be accepted as it is without interpretations, just like Arjuna accepted Bhagavad Gita after hearing it from Krishna as it is. And he said, "Oh Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me." Yeah, that's it, Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yes, Rachaita.
Mataji, before reading this paragraph, I want to ask you something. When a devotee is initiated, when he's a neophyte devotee, so is he supposed to read the first six, cantos of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita?
See, chanting the holy name, minimum 16 rounds, following the four regulative principles, reading Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, these are compulsory because this is the initial level. Once the person has completed Chaitanya Charitamrita, then upon instruction by the spiritual master, he can read Chaitanya Charitamrita.
That will come in the Samadhyatmic stage, the second stage.
Second stage, no, Uttamadhikari, because Chaitanya Charitamrita is like a post-graduation study. Bhagavad Gita is like schooling, and Srimad Bhagavatam is like a graduation, and Chaitanya Charitamrita is a post-graduation course. So
Okay.
one need to be a very, very qualified, elevated devotee to read the Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Okay. And like Hare Krishna, Mataji, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. For example, for interested people like us who are interested in Krishna, so even if we hear few cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, so is it okay?
You can read Chaitanya Charitamrita. It depends, that was told actually in Prabhupada lectures. Most of the time, he used to tell about, give references from Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavata. So simultaneously, people can read it if people are interested. But I'm telling you, like, this is the way out. But you can always read. You can start.
Mataji, I'm just little inquisitive about the Srimad Bhagavatam. Matlab, how is it? Matlab, as a study.
Srimad Bhagavatam systematically you have to read. We did know like all the cantos maximum we have covered in our
No,
previous.
no, I meant like for example, like study, matlab an in-depth study. Reading is something different, but studying, matlab,
Studying you have to read it. All the purports you have to read it. Anytime you can start.
Mataji, if you want to do Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a class going on Saturdays and Sundays at 5:30 to 6:30.
okay.
No, daily morning 8 o'clock Prabhuji will be taking no Namanishta.
But no, if she is not able to join it every day, she can do it on Saturdays and Sundays.
Better to join Prabhuji's class. It will be very nice actually. He
Yeah.
explains everything very nicely.
So is it, but as I've heard from you, like, like writing the Srimad Bhagavatam exam is comparatively easier because it contains stories. Is it correct? I don't know.
They will not ask the stories, no. They will ask questions like um, they'll
Morals of the stories, right?
yeah, exactly. More like with the Bhagavad Gita verse related to this story and all. They will ask.
So it looks like, so it's sounding difficult.
Ah.
It is.
It actually sounds difficult, Mataji, but once you come to know about the story, right? So even in childhood, we used to listen to the story of crow who is like thirsty and how he drinks the water from the pot, right? So at the end, we remember the moral of the story. So
Okay.
it's similar. If you read the story thoroughly and understand it, you can remember the moral as well.
Okay. Okay,
So
Mataji.
it's comparatively easy than
Yeah.
Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Come on, can
I'll,
continue now.
okay, I'll read this one.
Yeah.
Thank you for answering my question.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. This is the correct way of understanding Bhagavad Gita, and this is called Shraddha. It is not that one accepts a portion of Bhagavad Gita according to its own whimsical interpretations and then rejects another portion. This is not the Shraddha. Shraddha means accepting the instructions of Bhagavad Gita in the totality, especially the last instructions, the Sarva dharmam parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. This is as per Bhagavad Gita 18, chapter 18, 66 verse. When one becomes completely faithful in regard to this instruction, one's strong faith becomes the basis for advancing in spiritual life. When one fully engages in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he, uh, he gradually realizes his own spiritual identity. Unless one faithfully chants the Hare Krishna mantra, Krishna does not reveal himself. Sevang mukhe hi Shivado Swayam Eva Spurati Ada. As per the BRS 1.2.234, we cannot realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead by any artificial means. We must engage faithfully in the service of the Lord. Such service begins with the tongue. Sevan Mukhehi Jivadhu, which means that we should always chant the holy names of the Lord and accept Krishna Prasada. We should not chant or accept anything else. When this process is faithfully followed, the Supreme Lord reveals himself to the devotee. When a person realizes himself to be an external servitor of Krishna, he loses interest in everything but Krishna serves, always thinking of Krishna, devising means by which to spread the holy name of Krishna. He understands that his only business is in spreading the Krishna conscious movement all over the world. Such a person is said to be recognized as an Uttama Adhikari and his association should be immediately accepted according to the six processes. Tadati, Prati, Grihanati, etc. Indeed, the advanced Uttama Adhikari Vaishnava devotee should be accepted as a spiritual master. Everything one possesses should be offered to him, for it is enjoined that one should deliver whatever he has to the spiritual master. The brahmachari, in particular, is supposed to beg alms from others and offer them to the spiritual master. However, one should not imitate the behavior of an advanced devotee or Mahabhagavata without being self-realized. For such an imitation, one will eventually become degraded. In this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami advises the devotee to be intelligent enough to distinguish between the Kanishta Adhikari, Adhyatma Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. A devotee should also know his own position and try not to imitate a devotee situated on a higher platform. Srila Bhakti Vinoda Thakura has given some practical hints to the effect that an Uttama Adhikari Vaishnava can be recognized by his ability to convert many fallen souls to Vaishnavism. One should not become a spiritual master unless he has attained the platform of Uttama Adhikari. A neophyte Vaishnava or Vaishnava situated in the immediate platform can only accept disciples by such disciples can be on the same platform, and it should be understood that they cannot advance very well towards the ultimate goal of life under his sufficient guidance. Therefore, a devotee should be careful to accept an Uttama Adhikari as a spiritual master. Hare Krishna. Uh, so in these paragraphs, we must always respect the association of Vaishnavas, and while choosing a spiritual master, he should be a Uttama Adhikari. Excuse me. Excuse me, Mataji. Okay. And we should always take Krishna Prasada, and you should and we should not uh, assume the text of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita as per our whimsical thoughts. So which is said to be insulting the spiritual master as well as Krishna, and we must always except the association of Vaishnavas, the devotees of Krishna. And one who faithfully chants the Hare Krishna mantra, so Krishna reveals himself. If not, so we are fallen souls. Hare Krishna. Mataji, you're mute.
Particular verse will tell about how to distinguish between the Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari, and what are the characteristics of them, and to whom should we accept the bona fide spiritual master, and what do you say? Which Vaishnava, different types of Vaishnavas they have described in the form of this Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama Adhikari. How we have to respect them, and what are the qualities to be seen when you are in a devotee association. So all such things have been explained in detail. Okay, Hare Krishna. Anything more to be discussed?
But in short, could you just tell us the trip in Vrindavana in short? How was it?
Yeah, very nice actually. A little bit tiring because temperatures are very high. Yeah, that's what.
So, so what was the temperature exactly in Vrindavan?
I exactly don't know, but must be around 30 to 35. And it's a river bank, no? A little of humid weather and all. Many of the devotees, they have fallen sick. But at last, with no issues, everybody are reaching home safely. Trip was very successful. 610 participants were there. And uh, it was a very nice. Mangalati used to start before 10 in the morning near Prabhupada Ashray and followed by Krishna Balaram Temple. And by 5:10, 5:15, the Mangalarti would finish, and all of us used to chant a 16 rounds, then get onto the bus after taking the breakfast prasadam, then go on a tour. We used to return back by afternoon lunchtime and take rest. Again, evening we had a wonderful lectures by the Vrindavan faculty. Then dinner prasadam and again rest. So this was our regular schedule, and all of us are located at one place only. We had a nice hall, and where the prasadam as well as the lecture are been divided and served. So above all, the devotee association, we enjoyed it a lot.
Okay, that's nice. Actually, I saw in your statuses, I must say I was blessed to see this glance of Vrindavana by the association of a Vaishnava.
Yes, that was very nice. So all of us, this is a second trip now after Mayapur. So it was like we were happy to see each other once again.
Oh,
And yes, hope to continue this. I think they were saying next trip will be for the Dwarka in the month of October. I think all of you can join.
yes. Let's see. Even so,
Yeah. And Rachita, why are the other participants not joining? Are they busy with exams?
I don't know, Mataji. They haven't said anything.
Because I think many people, they said they are having 12th board exams and some are busy with exams. That's what they said.
But I think they'll join tomorrow. There'll be a good number of participants. They might be busy with the exam, so there'll be a good number of participants.
Okay. Fine. Okay.
Thank you
Uh,
so much, Mataji.
no problem. Hare Krishna. We'll conclude for today.
Yes,
Anybody want to recite the Narsimarti? Yeah, they can do it.
Mataji, may I?
Yes.
One second. I'll just take my notebook.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Basanti Sauranya. How are you?
Hare Krishna Mataji. I'm good. How are you, Mataji?
Yeah, fine. I was just inquiring why the other participants are not joining for the class. Are they busy with the exams or what? That's what.
Yes, Mataji. I'm busy with some project work that is like hectic for me. I'm not getting time to join. And also, I wanted to join second level, so I started another level of second.
Okay.
Mataji, should I start?
Yes, yes, you can start.
Okay, sorry for interrupting our conversation.
No problem.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sajanya Mataji.
So how did you find, just a minute, how are you finding the second level? Is it a presentation or it's a reading? Hare Krishna, Basanti.
I was busy, so evenings I'm unable to attend the class. This from next week I'll be attending that.
Okay, okay.
Nindanath Prabhuji is taking the level 2. Around 38 to 40 members are there in that group. One day I tried to join, but I'm going and coming. I'm getting
Okay, it has just started, huh?
2 weeks before Mataji. Like this is the third week, but due to this yatra, there is no class this week.
Okay. So is it a presentation or like what?
It's like presentation only, Mataji. Like I think Prabhuji is a foreigner. It's not like our classes, but it's somewhat different.
Okay. Best take the best of both.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Come on, Racheta, continue.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Namaste Narasimhaya Praladadayayini Hiranyakashi Vakshaha Shilatanka Nakhalaye Ito Nasimha Parato Nasimha Yato Yato Yami Tato Nasimha Bahe Nasimha Hridaye Nasimha Nasimhamadem Sharanam Prapade Tava Karakamalavari Abnaka Madbhuta Shenga Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare नरसिंह भगवान की जय हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्ण वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Thank you, co-host and participant, for your active participation. See you all tomorrow at 8 p.m. Hare
हरे
Krishna.
कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.